morning, students. Welcome to the digital classroom with Holy Heart Schools. Today, we are going to start with our chapter Landforms of the Earth. In today's video, we will be focusing on mountains and types of mountains. While going through these topics, we will be learning some new words like gradational forces, forces which bring land to a common level. Number 2, mountains, land masses which rise more than 900 meters above the mean sea level. Number 3, range, chain of mountains. Number 4, orogenesis, the process involved in the creation of mountains. And number 5, orogeny, the period of mountain building. Number 6, fold mountains, mountains that are formed by the horizontal compressional forces. Number 7, young fold mountains, mountains which are formed recently and are still rising, example the Himalayas, the Andes, etc. Number 8, residual mountains, mountains that are created due to the erosional work of rivers, glaciers, winds and other agencies. And at last we have block mountains, mountains which are formed due to the horizontal tensional forces. So now students, open up your books on page number 36, lesson number 5, landforms of the earth. But before we start with the topic, let's have a brief about the topic. The term landform is applied by physiographers to describe all the relief features or natural rocky features on the surface of the earth. It includes all the broad features such as continents and ocean, the first order of the relief, mountains, plateaus and plains, which makes the second order of the relief, and at third order of the relief we have all the minor features like hills, valleys, slopes, canyons, deltas, alluvial fans, etc. The systematic study of the Earth's relief feature is known as geomorphology. In fact, the Earth's crust is highly restless or unstable. There are some forces or movements which are always active in changing the face of the Earth. These forces are named as internal or endogenic forces. These are the forces that originate deep inside the Earth's interior, and they may be horizontal or vertical forces. The next one is external or exogenic forces. The external forces are the agents of gradation like running water of river, wind, glaciers, etc. The internal forces are continuously trying to raise the surface of the earth by horizontal and vertical movements, while external forces are trying to level down the elevated surface. This action and reaction between these two forces give birth to different landforms. So now students, let's start with the reading of the topic today. The landforms, which are also known as relief features or physical features on the Earth's surface, have been created and developed by two types of forces: the tectonic forces and the gradational forces. The tectonic forces originate from within the Earth and create irregularities on the surface of the Earth. Tectonic forces are mostly constructive forces. They give rise to the major landforms on the surface of the earth. For example, the tectonic movements lead to the formation of rift valleys, plateaus, etc. The gradational forces. Now here the gradational forces are the forces which bring the surface of lithosphere to a common level by the process of degradation and aggradation. These forces originate from outside the earth and work to modify and smoothen the irregularities created by the tectonic forces. The work of these two forces develop the landforms on the earth's surface. The major landforms on the basis of relief slope are classified into mountains, plateaus and plains. Now here, the mountains are the land masses which rise more than 900 meters above the mean sea level. Plateaus are the high flat tableland with uneven surface, and plains are the flat fertile land. Now students, in this video we are going to study in detail about mountains. Mountains are the land masses which rise more than 900 meters above the mean sea level. Mountains generally have broad base, rugged surface and steep slopes with narrow elevated peaks. In geological past, at least 9 orogenic or mountain building movements have taken place. An orogeny is a period of mountain building, whereas orogenesis is a process of mountain building. So now let's read. Mountains. Landmasses which rise more than 900 meter above the mean sea level are called mountains. Mean sea level is the average level of the sea, which we take it as zero. About half of the surface of the mountains have very steep slopes. Steep slopes are the slopes which rises at a very sharp angle and is very difficult to go up. Some mountains occur as single isolated landmasses like Kilimanjaro in Africa. It is an isolated landmass because it is a dormant volcano. Some mountains form extensive chain or ranges like Andes in South America. Here ranges means the chain of mountains. Andes have two main ranges, one is Cordillera Occidental and one is Cordillera Oriental. Some mountains are young and are still rising like the Himalayas in Asia. They are young full mountains because these mountains have formed recently. Some mountains are very old and nearly worn down like Aravalli Range in India. These mountains are easily exposed to the agents of weathering and are reducing in height day by day. Mostly these mountains have rounded peaks. The mountains are created when large parts of the earth crust are folded, faulted and deformed. Folding and faulting are the most common deformation processes. Folding occurs when the rocks are compressed such that the layers buckle and fold. And faulting occurs when rock fracture due to the tensional forces. And here deformed means the alteration of the size or the shape of the rocks. The processes involved in the creation of mountains are called orogenesis, which means the birth of mountains, and orogeny is defined as the period of mountain building. And this we have already discussed. Now next we are starting up with the types of mountains. There are four main types of mountains on the basis of their origin or mode of formation. They are as number 1 fold mountains. These mountains are formed by the horizontal compression which take place inside the earth called tectonic forces, resulting in the formation of the upfolds called anticlines and downfold called synclines. It is believed that in geological history there were long, narrow, low-lying areas, and over a period of time they were filled with huge amount of sediments deposited by the rivers, winds and agents of gradation. For the millions of years, the slow horizontal movements or compression caused inside the crust raised these mountains forming wrinkles or folds. Compression caused by the tectonic forces forced the sedimentary rock strata to fold and to give birth to the fold mountains. Basically, there are two types of fold mountains. One is young fold mountains and another one is old fold mountains. Young fold mountains have been formed relatively recently. They have steep slopes and deep valleys. They have sharp pointed snow covered peaks. They have complex folding and faulting of rock layers. They are much higher than the old fold mountains. They have extremely rough topography and these mountains are still growing in height. Some of the examples of young fold mountains are the Himalayas, the Andes, Alps, Rockies, etc. And the old fold mountains are the mountains which are formed much earlier. They have gentler slope, have rounded tops. They are highly eroded by the agents of gradation and are lower than the young fold mountains. Aravallis in India and Ural Mountains in Eurasia are the best examples of old fold mountains. So now let's read. Types of mountains. The main types of mountain about which we will study are fold mountains, residual mountains and block mountains. Fold mountains are the mountains which are formed due to the compressional forces within the earth crust. Residual mountains are the mountains which are created due to the erosional work of rivers, glaciers, wind, and other agencies. And block mountains are the mountains which are formed by the horizontal tensional forces which cause faults in the earth crust. Fold mountains. Most of the prominent means important mountain ranges in the world such as Himalayas, Rockies, Andes are the fold mountains. The fold mountains are formed by the horizontal compressional forces that crumble the crust of the earth into the arcs and troughs. Originally, the rock strata of the fold mountain was laid down as sediments in the long narrow troughs. This rock strata was subsequently uplifted by the horizontal compressional forces. The fold mountains that have formed recently are known as young fold mountains, such as the Himalayas, the Rockies, the Andes, and some fold mountains like Ural, the Appalachians, and the Nanshan and Tian Shan were formed much earlier. These are known as old fold mountains. Young fold mountains are still rising and they have conical peak, while old fold mountains are more exposed to the agents of weathering and have rounded peaks. The Aravallis in India is the oldest fold mountains on the earth's surface. Now next we are going to start up with the residual mountains. When an area of highland remains standing after getting badly eroded by the agents of gradation such as wind, rivers, glaciers, etc., the harder rocks which could not be eroded are left behind, forming the residual mountains. For example, Sierras of central Spain and Mesa of the western plateau land of USA. In India, the hills of Parasnath, Rajmahal are typical example of such mountains which have been worn down and turned into the hills. So now let's read. The residual mountains are created due to the erosional work of rivers, glaciers, wind, and other agencies. They have been reduced to their present shape and form from a previously existing fold mountain or a plateau. The main examples of Nilgiri are the Rajmahal Hills in India and Catskill Mountain in the USA. Now next we are starting up with the block mountains. These mountains are formed as a result of faulting which is formed due to the tensional and compression forces. Sometimes when the tectonic plates move away from one another due to the horizontal force of tension causing surface of the earth to crack apart, fault is formed by these cracks. Blocks of earth between the faults may be raised or lowered. So block mountain are formed in two ways. Number one, if there are two parallel cracks or faults formed, the land between the two faults is sometimes pushed up to form a block mountain or host having steep sides and flat top. Number two, the sinking of the crust in relation to the surrounding parts of either side of the two parallel faults may also form a block mountain. So such mountains may be formed between the two rift valleys. Now here, rift valley is a valley formed by the sinking of land between the two parallel faults. The best example of block mountain includes the Vosges of France and the Black Forest in Germany. Vindhyachal and Satpura mountains in India are also the example of block mountains. So now let's read. Block mountains. The block mountains are formed by the horizontal tensional forces which causes faults, means cracks in the earth crust. The faults break the crust into blocks. When these blocks are raised, the block mountains are formed. When one part rises up, it forms a block mountain. Sometimes there are two parallel faults and the land between them stand above the surrounding area. Such block mountains have flat top and steep slopes. The block mountain can also be formed if the crust on either side of the fault sinks downwards. Block mountains are found throughout the world, but most of them have been modified by the work of the rivers. Some of the best examples are Black Forest in Germany, the Vaush in France, Sierra Nevada in California, and Salt Range in Pakistan. Now next we have importance of mountains. Mountains are majestic towers that are essential component of the world's geography. About 60 to 80% of the fresh water comes from the mountain. That is the reason that mountains are nature water towers. Mountains absorb huge amount of rainwater preventing erosion, landslides and rockfall. Mountains are like safety rules for the people living as they reduce the speed of rapidly moving winds. This is the reason that mountainous countries do not suffer from hurricanes and tornadoes. Mountains influence the condensation of moisture by forcing the winds to rise and reach their dew point. Mountains are the storehouse of minerals, herbs, and many medicinal plants. We can also generate hydropower for industrial and domestic needs from the rivers which originate from the mountains. Mountains serve as a tourist and health resorts due to its cool climate in summers. So now let's read. Significance of mountains. Significance means importance. Mountains have irregular topography. Topography means natural and man-made features, narrow valleys and very thin soil cover. Thus, agriculture cannot be practiced on a large scale in the mountainous regions. But nowadays, terraced farming is being practiced in the mountains. Further, the difficulty of transport, shortage of level land and the inhospitable climate means not suitable climate combine to make these regions thinly populated. Still, the mountains are very useful to man in the following ways. Number 1. They act as an effective barrier against the cold and the hot winds. The best example for this is the Himalayas, which protect India from the cold winds coming from the Central Asia and Siberia. Number 2. They influence the condensation of moisture by forcing the winds to rise and reach their dew point. Number 3. Rivers originating from the mountains provide water even during the dry periods. These rivers are called perennials as they have water throughout the year. For example, river Ganga. The mountain slopes provide rich pastures, means grasslands, and valuable forests. The forests provide wood for fuel, building material, and paper. Paper is mostly obtained from the softwood trees. The rugged slopes provide sites for the development of hydroelectric and multi-purpose projects. Most of the multi-purpose projects are located in the mountains because here the rivers flow at a rapid speed. The mountains serve as a tourist and the health resorts due to the cool climate in summers. Some mountains have rich reserves of minerals. Mountain passes can be used for developing roadways and railways. Mountain rocks can be used for the building material. So now students, with this we are ending up with the topic of the day. Please revise your topic and do the related exercises. Thank you.